These are our tomatoes from the garden, and most of them are Romas. So my first tip is if you go to the farmer's market or plant tomatoes, and I'm sure most of you have already planted, the easiest tomatoes to put up to can and freeze are Roma tomatoes, okay? They hold their shape better. They retain their juice. They're not quite as juicy, so you don't lose a lot of juice in the water when you blanch them, and they just work better. I'm going to show you why. I'm using a strawberry peeler. Now, a lot of people boil their tomatoes and then they peel the skin off. But now I'm going to show you an easy way to do it before you boil it, okay? And that is, you take your tomato, and this works, like I said, I'm going to show you why it doesn't work as well with a regular tomato compared to a Roma tomato. And I've already got all of these prepped, but I'm going to show you what I do. I take my strawberry huller. This just takes the hull, the green part off of the strawberry. I use it for a lot of things. I de-seed bananas with it, which I'm actually going to use today because I'm going to make a banana pudding. But I use it, and I just take the hull, well, not the hull, but the, what would you call that? The bloom side of the tomato off. Now, before you start, of course, you got to take this part of the tomato off and wash the tomatoes. I didn't tell you that first. Now, once you get that off of there, and you see how easy that is with a Roma tomato, this is a Rita tomato knife. I take a knife and I just go, it's real fast. It's not hard. I go across it and then I turn it 90 degrees and I go all the way across it again. And I lay it in there. All of those have already been prepped just like that. Now this is a regular tomato, and I'm going to show you how much juicier they are. They're fine for a tomato sandwich or whatever, but when you go to take the hull off the top, it's not as easy as with the Roma, and you can see how much juice is coming out of it already. So if you don't want to take the hull off of these kind of tomatoes, you don't have to, but I would go ahead and do the split with the knife. And you're going to see how these fall into the water and react compared to a Roma when we get started. I just had a couple of these that I wanted to do in front of y'all so you can kind of see how fast it goes when I'm not really talking about it.
So the flesh of the Roma is a lot firmer, I guess, than the other ones.
It's a firmer tomato in general.
Yeah.
It's not got as much juice in the inside, so it's just easier to work with. And I'm sure that's why the Italians use it. It's their tomato, and they are tomato experts.
Pretty smart.
Experts. These are little bitty ones that are going to probably make a mess. But see how fast that goes? It's just a little bit of a cut. And now we're going to get over here and drop them. Now we're going to see how simple it is. I've got my water boiling. This is a Babish, B-A-B-I-S-H, stock pot. It's nice and thick. And I am going to take the lid off of it. I moved my things to this side the other day. I think they're going to work better. While I was cleaning the oven. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm sorry, y'all. Didn't know I had to cough. Is I'm going to drop a few in here. Enough that I think it's going to fill up a bag. And I'll do a couple of bags for y'all and show you how fast it goes. You can drop them in here with this so you don't get splattered with the hot water. I'm going to turn my water back up. Now, this is a really ripe, regular tomato, and it's going to react different, more than likely. All right, that's going to be enough for now. A friend of mine sent me this, and I just love it. She said, I love mine. I want you to have one, and they're cheap. And she sent it to me, and I love it. So it holds your bag open. And you can also fold and fill these bags according to the picture on the bag, it's a Ziploc freezer bag. So we'll try that out too. See how that works. We'll do some fold and fills, and then I'll use this holder, and we'll see which one we like the best. And your tomatoes are just going to be in there a minute. And while we're waiting on those for their peelings to start peeling off, we're going to put some seasoning in these bags. Uh-oh, my butterfly fell. I should get at least 3 or 4 bags out of this bunch over here. And, you know, you can make chili. You can make spaghetti, with fresh tomatoes. You can make pasta dishes. I mean, just anything. I have a tomato soup recipe over here for fresh tomatoes. And I actually tell you to blanch them and then take the skins off in this recipe. But this is my tomato soup. It's recipe number 635 in our master cookbook. And all of our recipes are now in the master cookbook. Now what we're going to do is put a few salt and pepper in these. So I'm going to use about a half teaspoon of salt in each one. And this is optional. You don't have to do this, but Mama always did it. And then we're going to use about a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper.
Is that on the website, that bag holder thing?
I don't know that I have it on there, but I can put it on there. Now, this is onion powder, and it ain't going to make them pretty or nothing. You know, they're not going to be beautiful tomatoes in the freezer when you put all this stuff in there. But who cares? It's frozen. It's in the freezer. And when you get it out, it's going to taste good. Now, if you don't want to put onion powder in yours, but everything I make with tomatoes, even tomato soup, onion powder is good in it. Could you use, some of y'all are going to say, could you put garlic in it? Or fresh garlic or fresh onion? You can do anything you want to. It's going in the freezer, okay?
They're asking if you could do maybe this with green tomatoes.
Oh, green tomatoes? What would you even make with a green tomato if you froze it?
I don't know.
Most of the time people just use green
Or
tomatoes
maybe
to fry.
I don't know.
Okay. Now there's a peel in there, just floating.
Just came off.
Yep. But the peels haven't released yet. It may take them a little longer with Roma than it does a regular tomato. This is the one that was the regular tomato. You can see it has just about lost all of its peel. So yes, their peels are thinner. You can tell already. Now that tomato doesn't have a peel on it anymore. So I'm going to put it in a bag.
Oh, you just put the whole thing in there, huh?
Yes. Because the juice is in there. It just takes them a minute to get hot enough for their peelings to fall off. And then you just put them directly in the bag. And then when you get them in the bag, I'm going to put them on this rack right here. Now, let me show you what I've done right here so you'll understand why I did it. Because I try to tell y'all why I do things. In order to get these to room temperature quicker, instead of letting them sit on the bottom of a pan that retains the heat, I'm going to put it on top of a cooling rack. And not only am I going to do that, but I also put my pan up off the counter so that the pan doesn't retain its heat longer against the counter. So that way it's open on both sides while it's cooling, if that makes sense. All right, here's one.
One of the viewers, Sean Williams, said that they could take the green tomatoes and just freeze them, just slice them up and freeze it if they want to have them to fry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of juice in them, and they're, so they're probably really easy to freeze.
They're pretty tough, yeah.
Yeah.
The good thing about tomatoes is they're easy to grow. You don't have to have a whole ton of space. You can grow them on your patios or whatever.
While we're waiting on these to boil just a little bit.
And a couple of people are saying if you put them in cold water, those peels are released too.
Okay. Well, let me do that.
You can try that.
Yeah. Y'all are all so smart. I thought I would just be able to put them right in the bag and not fool with all that, but you know what? It ain't gonna hurt nothing.
It'll be just as fast.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
So
you can.
since it's taking this long, I'm gonna go ahead and drop my other ones in when I take these out.
Yeah.
I thought I would just be able to reach in there and get it off. A lot of people don't even want to blanch them like it's a big deal, and it's not hard. It's not hard. It's not, don't take a whole lot of time. And then you got some really good tomatoes. I think you should take advantage of your local farmers markets if you do not have your own garden. A lot of y'all are too old to get out there and work in a garden. And you don't want, but somebody, you might have a neighbor, you might have a friend, you might have family that actually shares their crop with you. And you're just like, oh, this is too much trouble. I don't think I would want to do that. I prepped these tomatoes in just a few minutes. It didn't take a long time to prep them. Look at here.
Just coming right off.
Yeah, and you still got to be careful and not get burned, okay?
And you could put ice in it if you wanted ice in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people plant way more tomatoes than they can even. So if you're lucky, you can run across somebody like that. They'll give you all kinds.
Now, let me tell you something about blanching, okay? Now, the reason I wasn't going to do this part is because it's really not necessary when you're putting up a tomato, because you're really just using it for the juice. Most of the time when you blanch something and you cool it down, like with the ice, for example, you are doing that so that the product quits cooking, okay? I mean, so that your food quits cooking and it keeps its shape. Mm-hmm. But with tomatoes going into the freezer, there's no reason for that. So there's no reason to put the ice in there and go to that much trouble. Really and truly, you just want the tomato. Look how pretty these Romas are. Just look at how beautiful they are after you take the peels off. They just keep their shape. They're just gorgeous. Mm-hmm. Just gorgeous. Gorgeous. I think I got them all. This one. See how fast that was? And that is easier just to put them in that water. Then you can handle them, okay? So let's bring them over here and put them in our bags.
I'm going to move this over because it's probably getting hot. Didn't you want to use it for...
Yes, you can bring it over here.
Oh, you want it over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I do the next batch, I'll just set the bowl down.
Be careful. Oh, I told you, be careful.
Why is it so hot? Oh, because it was sitting on that side.
Thing. That's why I said I'm going to move it.
Holy smokes. Sorry, y'all. I didn't know it was that hot. Well, at least y'all know I don't cuss, or I would have cussed, said a bad word. All right. We're going to get these in there. These Romas, just look at them, how beautiful they are. Just gorgeous. I don't want to get this in my onion powder.
Yeah, and where we live, for some reason, because it gets hot, like our tomatoes will be done here in probably a couple of weeks, maybe. And for some reason, we can grow Romas here better than most other tomatoes we've tried to grow.
Yeah.
I don't know if they handle the heat or what.
My brother said that they grew Romas last year, my older brother, and he said they just loved them. He said, we have never grown Romas before, and we did last year, and we were like, why have we never grown Romas? Because they are wonderful. So that's why I'm saying, if you go to the farmer's market, please get you some Roma tomatoes if they're available. The red ones are really good to eat, in a tomato sandwich. Mm-hmm. Everybody likes a BLT. and they're really good for fried green tomatoes. But the Romas, I love them on my pizza because they slice. They're not real. I just love them. So I like them on my pizza. I'm gonna put that right there and stuff like that. Now you can see my bag of tomatoes. That's enough tomatoes for me to make tomato soup. I'm not going to fill it all the way up. So I think that's enough. It's about a little over halfway full.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And as these sit and cool down, the juice will fall down in there some, and you're going to have plenty of juice. So these are good for soups and stuff. How did your mama freeze tomatoes? Did she use freezer bags? Did she use the little, Mama used to use those little pint size, I don't know where they got them from, but they used these plastic square.
Them little Tupperware looking kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I'm sure they weren't cheap.
Yeah.
I'm sure they weren't.
Well, they used them year after year.
Yeah.
They used their
Come on over here.
Their
Yeah, we saved them. Every time she emptied one, we'd save it, and she would wash it, and then of course we would reuse them. Try not to. So that's it. Y'all seen the process. That's really what I wanted y'all to see. I don't have to continue to stay on here, but just remember that you can use these in your tomato soup and chili and spaghetti and all that stuff. And especially those who have several kids or grandkids they're having to feed. I'm telling you, as much as tomatoes are right now, it's going to be cheaper to go buy them. Another thing you can do this with, because it's really hard to can. Now, tomatoes can easier than corn, but right now corn is cheaper than it was last year by the ear. And you can put up corn in the freezer as well, and it's not hard to do. And if you put up your corn, then you have some fresh tasting. It just tastes like it come out of the garden in the winter time. You can fry up some okra, you can cream some corn, and I mean, it just makes all the difference in the world in how your food tastes. When you were growing up, you probably remember Mama or Granny or your grandmother opening her canned vegetables. My mama did canned vegetables. Most of the time it was green beans and soup. They always canned a lot of soup, which had everything in it, but no meat, of course, vegetable soup. And but Mama would freeze okra and corn on the cob and cream corn, and she would freeze a lot of her tomatoes, and especially like if you do a bunch of canning and then you got the rest of your crop coming in and you don't want to get the canner out again, lots of times you'll freeze it. So just remember that you can always freeze stuff. The only thing to me that's not great frozen is squash, but it ain't great canned either. It changes the texture of it, but you can freeze it and use it in casseroles. So
my grandmother had one of those big freezers, like out in her utility room, those real big
chest freezers.
Yeah, and she would have it filled up.
Oh yeah,
with all that stuff that you just said. That
by the end of the year, they had blackberries in there.
Oh yeah,
they had corn in there, tomatoes. Some would freeze their vegetable soup in those little canisters I was telling you about, those little square things. And I loved it when Mama would pull out blackberries and make us a fresh blackberry cobbler in the winter. Nothing was better than that. So y'all tell us what your grandmother or your mama or your daddy, a lot of y'all men cook now, would put in the freezer and they would pull out. And you remember, what was your favorite thing that they would pull out of the freezer later on in the winter that you got to enjoy? We thank you so much for watching Collard Valley Cooks. And I'm going to get these in my freezer. And y'all seen how easy it is. And it didn't take long at all. And now me and Chris can have some fresh tomato soup or some really good pasta. These tomatoes are going to be so good that, like, if you're a pasta lover, and a lot of y'all, I've got a recipe in this book that has never been popular online, but it's my favorite pasta recipe, and it has tomatoes in it like this. And it's like a fresh pasta, and it doesn't even have meat in it. It's just so good. And these will be absolutely to make that with. Linguine, it's called linguine passatino, or however you say it. You know, I'm not Italian. So, do you remember how good that is, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
It has artichokes in it. It's so good. Well, y'all have a wonderful day. And remember, our cookbook is now in stock. We just got them in the mail. Chris can go out here in the garage and just show you how many we have in the garage. It's crazy. If you place an order, hopefully, unless it's the weekend, all right? We thank you for watching Collard Valley Cooks, where we cook like our mamas did. Bye, y'all. Love you.